Hello, folks, and welcome back to NL Now on NTV. I am your host for this morning, Mr. Gary Weaselton. I'd like to thank you all so much for joining us today. This is our 6th episode of the season, which means we are already halfway through our 12 episodes. So I'd like to thank you all so much for your support over these past few weeks, and I hope that you'll all continue to keep watching the show over the next few episodes. We have some really wonderful guests lined up that we can't wait for you all to see. Now on today's show, we have some of the finest musicians in our province. We're going to get things started right away. Please welcome Sandy Morris and Jenny Gear.
I've been walking in my sleep. I'm counting trouble instead of counting sheep. Where the years went, I can't say. They just turned around, they've gone away. I've been sifting through the layers of dusty books and the faded paper. Hear a story I used to know. It was one that happened, it was long ago. It's gone away in yesterday, and now I find myself on the mountainside, where the rivers change direction across the great divide. Softly as the night is falling, the edge of night, break of day, that's when the darkness will roll away. It's gone away yesterday, and now I find myself on the mountainside, where the rivers change direction across the great divide. The finest hour that I've seen is the one, well, it comes between edge of night, break of day. That's when the darkness rolls away. It's gone away yesterday, and now I find myself on the mountainside, where the rivers change direction across the great divide. It's gone away yesterday, and now I find myself on the mountainside, where the rivers change direction across the great divide.
I am here now on our musical guest set with Youngtree and the Blooms. How are you all doing today?
Hey, we're great.
That's great.
Gary, thank you.
So, first off, I'd love to know how and when this group was formed.
Ooh, well, it all kind of came together piecemeal, I guess. I was writing songs for some time and wanted to get into the studio, and I called Darren because I liked his bass playing a lot. And the engineer was Christian Leslie, and he knew Chuck and got him on board. And at that time, neither of these guys were Carol and Joe weren't around, and we didn't all come together fully until the album release for that record.
Right.
We're alive.
Yes. So I'd like to ask now, how do you guys feel that we're starting to get back into those great live performances since the pandemic is starting to quiet down a little bit?
I feel great about it. How do you guys feel about it?
I think we all feel
Excellent.
pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We played a couple of weeks ago. It was really fun.
Yeah,
Really
yeah.
good.
Yeah, we played the 25th of June, and it was fantastic.
Yeah. Now, do you guys have anything new or any exciting projects coming up that you'd like to speak about?
Yeah, well, the songs we're playing here today are unreleased, so
Okay.
we're itching to get into the studio. We're organizing that now, arranging it, and hopefully we'll have something released by next year.
Perfect. Now, if people want to find out more about Youngtree and the Blooms or hear some of your music, where can they do that?
Well, we're on all the streaming platforms, and you can find our website, pwyoungtree.com. PW as in Peter Willie, that's me, pwyoungtree.com. And there you can also contact us by email and drop us a note, read some stories, listen to all our music, find the lyrics, all that sort of thing, Gary.
Well, thank you very much, guys, for coming on the show today. It's been great having you here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Gary. Here to perform now on our musical guest set, we have a wonderful band of accomplished musicians for you. Their front man, Peter, was the winner of the 2020 Music NL Ron Hines Songwriter of the Year Award. Since they put out their debut album in 2018, they've been doing all kinds of shows across Newfoundland, and we're so excited to have them here with us this morning. Please welcome Youngtree and the Blooms.
Well, when I was a teenager, my family went on a trip to see some West Coast theater. Now everyone stayed out getting pissed. The next morning at the restaurant, Uncle Bud sipped his coffee and said, "I've had beer warmer than this." We all busted our guts laughing. That man's weird. He sure is miss. Oh, but that was half my life ago, and I've stopped wondering where the time went. Because my best friend told me not to get blown away by our lives being spent. So I just keep my chin up, ready to receive whatever is sent. And I'll still bust my guts laughing every chance that I get. Oh, now I'm on my way to a clear blue sky. There's children and elders dancing in my eyes. I'm climbing up the stairs, and I'm 8 miles high. And I only got here 'cause they gave me the chance to try. Now as a child, both my parents worked, and they did provide. Auntie Maud rocked me in her arms, sang me songs, sometimes tucked me in at night. Nanny Jean kept the house clean, made raisin buns and Christmas crabs, and watched the daytime TV. Uncle Bud picked me up from school, made me lunch every day of the week. Oh, now I'm on my way to a clear blue sky. There's children and elders dancing in my eyes. climbing up the stairs, and I'm 8 miles high. Oh yeah, and I only got here 'cause it gave me the chance to try. Let's do this, Lawrence. I got 51 first cousins, 25 aunts and uncles, 2 brothers and a mom and dad. And I've got each one of them to thank in part for all the good fortune that I have had. Ooh, and likewise my good friends and all my relations were stuck around when things got bad. Alright, here we go. And all the enemies I've made who have welcomed me back, me back. Oh yeah, well I'm on my way. Take it to the sky. There's children and elders dancing in my eyes. I'm climbing up the stairs. Oh man, I'm 8 miles high. Oh yeah, and I only got here 'cause they gave me the chance to try. Cool.
I am here right now on our musical guest set with the wonderful Sandy Morris and Jenny Gear. How are you two doing today?
We're doing well, Gary. Thank
Yes.
you very much.
Thank you so much for coming on today.
It's our pleasure, really.
Thank you for having us.
So first off, I'd like to know, when did the two of you meet and start performing together?
The first time I saw Jenny Gear sing was when she was Princess Sheila Nogueira in Carbonaire. And what was the occasion of that?
That was a musical called, it was Chuck Harriet.
Yes.
Chuck Harriet's Princess Sheila Nogueira, yeah.
And it was was there an anniversary around that, or was it just something to do for Carbonaire? Because it's Jenny Gear from
I
Carbonaire.
think it was 1997, which is the
97.
year of the arts. I remember that was a good year.
Yeah, right.
So I have a couple questions now for each of you individually. So I'll start with Sandy. So Sandy, I'd love to know when the first time is that you picked up a guitar and how you learned to play.
You know, that's a really good question. The first time I picked up a guitar, I had a cousin who played in a band called the Ravens, who were the most popular band in St. John's and arguably the most popular band in Newfoundland at the time, even though we didn't have the internet then and we didn't have much in the way of local television.
Yes.
But they were a super big band and they played a lot of R&B and stuff. And my cousin was really innovative in bringing in like the first Fender guitars and stuff like that, right? So from, I suppose, around 12 or 13 years old, I had access to these beautiful instruments. I just didn't know how to play. So I begged my parents until I think I was 13 or 14 when they gave me my first acoustic guitar. And I just taught myself because there were no guitar teachers. There was no music school back then.
Right.
There was no internet. There was no... It was hard to find people to, give you a guitar lesson. Actually, Chris Andrews is, Chris Andrews from Shannegannock.
Yeah.
His grandfather lived across the street from me and taught me some of my first chords and first folk songs.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, since then, of course, you've played with a very large number of our province's finest musicians. Is there any specific performance or event or thing you worked on that might stand out as a highlight in your career?
I get asked that question a lot, and I keep saying I'm not sure I've done my most favorite gig yet because I'm still playing. Like
Yes.
Today is pretty cool.
Yes.
There were a few real memorable nights for me playing with Dame Vera Lynn at the Arts and Culture Centre for a few nights. The greatest thrill for me about that was being able to see my parents in the audience because they'd grown up with Dame Vera and got through the war and stuff with her.
Yes.
And they were so thrilled to be seeing her, but then to have me on stage with her playing guitar, because there was no job description of guitar player when I was growing up. Nobody I knew, my cousin who was in the most popular band in St. John's, had a day job. They all had day jobs. And there was nobody that I knew who just made a living as a musician. So then that's what I decided to do in 1969 or something like that, quit university, which, if I might remind you folks, back in 1969, I was getting paid to go to university. But I was having so much fun and was so busy playing guitar with people, including, you know, Dick Nolan and Harry Hibbs and Joe Morrissey back in the day, that I thought I'd be better off leaving university until I had the time to actually study. And that never happened. It's just been a roller coaster ever since. Yeah.
Now, here's a question I'd like to ask both of you. If you could pick any musician, dead or alive, to collaborate with on a song, who would it be?
Oh, well, Jenny, you go first.
Well, I'm a big fan of Leonard Cohen.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's my favorite songwriter, for sure.
And I don't think I'll pick anybody dead. Because I'd still like to actually, in real life, be able to collaborate with Willie Nelson. I think he's a genius. Cool. I really do. He's a jazz artist, as far as I'm concerned. He's considered country, but he plays like a jazz guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, Jenny, a question for you. One of the first things in your career, I guess, was, of course, Canadian Idol. You made it to the finals, I believe, on that, right?
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did. So, thinking back on that whole experience, what are some of your favorite memories from that?
Oh my! Well,
I'd say the parade through Carbonear must have been a big part of it.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah, they had a parade in Carbonear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. But I got to meet some really cool musicians as well, and the top 10 were all, you know, amazing people as well. So from different backgrounds. And so it was neat to get to know those people.
That's great. Now, before we go, do either of you have anything new that you're working on you'd like to mention or anything?
Jenny and I are working on a whole new set list. You know, COVID kind of put a stop to our casual gigs, I'll say. Like we play a lot, you know, like downtown. We'll go down and do an evening for friends and once we were all shut down and there were no more of that going on for a while, we decided we'd learn a whole bunch of new songs. So we're really looking forward to getting an opportunity to play in front of people again and letting them hear some of our newer material, which is actually older material, but new to us.
There's some Vera Lynn in there for sure.
There's some Vera Lynn in there.
Well, that's great, guys. Thank you again so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you, Gary. It's always a pleasure to be on Newfoundland Now.
We will be right back after this short commercial break with more. Another song from Sandy and Jenny.
Sure.
All right, folks. Well, that is all we have for you this morning here on NL Now. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in, and I'd like to thank this morning's special guests, Sandy Morris, Jenny Gear, and Youngtree and the Blooms. Come back here to NTV next Saturday, 10:30 a.m. Newfoundland time for another all-new edition of the show. Please welcome to close us out for today, Sandy Morris and Jenny Gear.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Oh, am I blue? Am I blue? These tears in my eyes telling you, am I blue? 'Cause you'd be too when each plan with your man it done fell through. But there was this time, and I was the only one. And now I'm the sad-eyed lonely one. Lordy, was I gay? this time I was the only one, and now I'm the sad and lonely one. Oh dear, it was I gay until today, 'cause now he is gone and we're through.